The preparations have gone perfectly. Derek's in fantastic condition. He's mentally ready, physically ready. He's been pushed further than he's ever been pushed before, and he's been consistently training, putting in double sessions a day. Solid work rate. The technical side of things is what I'm most happy with. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but he's been doing some new tricks that I've never seen him do before consistently, and he's been doing it in sparring, and that's become part of his new style. So you're going to see things from Derek that you haven't seen him do before, and Usyk hasn't seen him do before. Usyk is a guy who believes he's superior, but it's all good and well until those heavyweight bombs at 115, 116 kilos of man monster starts pounding away around the midsection, around the side of the head. It's all sad. Derek looks one way when you watch his old fights, but when you're in there with him, I've to talk to the sparring partners who sparred with him a year ago versus now, and they say it's a completely different business.
This one will go to both of you. I'll start with you, Derek. You fought Dillian Whyte and you fought Vitaly Klitschko, but is this the biggest fight of your career?
Yeah, big time. This is the biggest fight in my career, big time. Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, this is the biggest one.
Why is it the biggest fight of your career?
Because the whole world is watching it. It's the biggest one.
Would winning this mean the equivalent of a world title to you? I know that titles aren't something that you're necessarily chasing, but would that be something that you feel winning this fight would be the recognition basically your career you feel deserves?
Yeah, this will either make me or break me.
David, is this the biggest fight of Derek's career?
I think so. He's had big fights before. He's had football stadium fights, but this one at this juncture in his career means the most. And it's a fight against somebody who most are saying Derek hasn't got a chance. They look at this guy's amateur pedigree, his cruiserweight pedigree, and they say, how can you compete with that? But this is the heavyweight division. Derek Chisora, can come through those shots that a lot of cruiserweights couldn't. And he's got the physical capabilities, the size, just the sheer velocity of him coming across at a cruiserweight who isn't noted to have one punch knockout power. He's had plenty of knockouts in his career, but very few have been when people have been completely fresh and he just knocked them clean cold. He's normally had to break them down, get them frustrated, get them tired, hit them with body shots, and slowly but surely he puts them out. He's going to need to do something very, very significant to keep Derek off of him, because Derek's been closing the gap, coming forward, crossing his legs, letting his hands go all angles, uppercuts. And what does Usyk do when he experiences something he's never dealt with before? And a big, strong, solid heavyweight who punches with both hands and is not afraid to let his hands go is something that he hasn't dealt with yet. And it's going to be a shock to his system, because when it gets down and dirty, when it gets into the trenches, when it starts getting real dirty and hard and grinding, how long has it been since Usyk has had that experience? Has he had it in sparring? Is he getting pushed in sparring to the point where he's exhausted? I don't know, maybe not. But Derek's definitely going to bring him in that deep, deep water, and it's going to be like swimming with a weighted vest on. You can swim, you can be the great, you can swim the channel, put a 15-kilo weighted vest on you, slows you down, and that's what he's doing. He's coming up in weight. He's put on additional weight. He knows how he can swim with no weighted vest. He's coming up to heavyweight. He's going to be 10 kilograms heavier than he was at his best. And 10 kilograms, if it's in muscle, slows you down. You don't have the cardio, you don't have the time, you don't have the rhythm. Things change, particularly when you've got a bigger guy on you, leaning on you, putting his head in there, working you, pushing, hitting you around the back of the head, around the bend of kidneys. It's going to get real rough, real quick, and I don't think Usyk can deal with it.
Alexander Povetkin beating Dillian Whyte obviously came as a bit of a shock. He twice came off the canvas. Are you ready to come off the canvas if you need to in this fight? And did that give you some confidence seeing Povetkin beat Whyte, that you could do something similar to Usyk?
Listen, man, boxing is like people come off the canvas, man. I think, Dave, you came off the canvas
many times,
yeah, and then you came up and win the fight. So, going down getting knocked down and getting up, the fight's 12 rounds, bro. If you get knocked down and you don't get up, that's a big problem. But if you get up and you can beat the count and you're still rolling, it's easy. Alexander did what people could not believe. After he hit that big massive shot, it was just good night to Dylan. And after when Dylan was in the fight, this is what you call the heavyweight game. Because you can be losing the fight for 12 rounds, and in the last minute of the round, he get knocked out. That happened to me. But it is what it is.
What did you learn from watching Usyk Bellew? Do you think that gave you any lessons for this fight? What's different about this fight to the Bellew fight, to both of you?
I think Tony drained himself to make weight. I think if Tony didn't drain himself to make weight, it'd be him. He was doing everything right.
You were ringside, David. You saw it. The punch in the 6th round seemed to really do the damage at the end of that 6th round. Just that little bit of concentration.
Yeah, I think Tony Bellew tried to outbox the boxer, and he did a great job of it. I had him up on points, and he got clipped right at the end of the 6th round, I believe, and that took a lot out of his legs. That last shot, I think it was after the bell, after the bell, it was right at the end of the round. And I think that was like the beginning of the end for him, because he was doing so well, but he was working so hard to win those rounds. He was winning them by small margins, but he was still winning them. But it took so much energy to do that. When he did finally get caught at the end of a shot, he was tired and he got hit with a shot, and he slowly started to unravel. And that's when Usyk, who kind of eases into the fight usually, started then to creep up the pace, and he was able to get Tony Bellew out there. But Tony Bellew's 2 fights coming into that fight were at heavyweight, so he had to do something he hadn't done for many years and take that weight, go down to 90 kilograms.
Exactly,
So that didn't help him at all. But he put up a great fight, and I saw stuff in there. Usyk, he's not unbeatable. He's not unbeatable at all. And if you've got the right game plan, which Tony had, as long as you're able to maintain that game plan for 12 rounds, nobody's unbeatable. Everybody has a chink in their armour, and it's just finding that chink and going after it.
I'll go final 2. Last April, when he fought Senad Gashi, he switched from orthodox to southpaw. If Usyk does a similar thing and he switches from southpaw to orthodox, is that something that could again trick you, or have you prepared for that this time? What would
Preparing
happen?
for everything. It won't trick me. It won't be a trick.
What happens
If he comes in there and
start
start dancing, start boxing on his feet, yeah, that might be a trick. But if he's standing on his 2 feet and boxing, that's not gonna trick me.
Usyk, champion, cruiserweight champion of the world. Make sure you're prepared, my friend. You're a great champion, but this is a beast. This is a beast. He's gonna bring something that you've never seen before. Then we're gonna go to war. Usyk, Chisora, it's war.